All right, so we're going to move on to some guys who will actually be making big plays in the regular season, not just in preseason in that week 3, specifically guys who got some off-season extensions. We're not going to be going all the way back to March and talking about Dak Prescott and Tyler Lockett. We're going to stick to the summer extensions. I'm just going to go right off the bat and give a shout out to my guy, Michael Dixon, punter for the Seahawks, best punter in the league, secured the bag. And, there's not much else to say about that. The dude is just great at what he does, and he's getting paid for it, rightfully so. So I'll let you go and move on to another, some might say more significant player. I would not, but, talk about a guy on offense or defense that you want to highlight.
So we might as well talk about Josh Allen first. I mean, 6 years for $258 million. I can't remember the last time I saw a contract nearly that big in Buffalo sports history. So
I was going to say in general, and I was like, Pat Mahomes doubled.
No, it's not Patty Holmes money by any means, but
I don't even know who the last guy.
In maybe Buffalo history, that would be anywhere close. I think the last big Buffalo athlete that got a big contract was Jack Eichel on the Sabres, who had a 10-year, $80 million contract, and he's currently working on trying to get off the team. So
so other than that, you're going back to Jim Kelly, who was probably getting paid like $7 million a year.
I mean, it's not only huge for Josh. It's huge for the city to have him be the long-term option because they've waited so long to have the guy. Obviously, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for any quarterback nowadays. I'm disregarding Patty Holmes' money now, right? So, I mean, Russell Wilson is going to be in this ballpark. Aaron Rodgers will be in this ballpark. Depending on the MVP situation into this year, depending on how do I want to phrase it? The pace of Justin Herbert's career, maybe he'll be up here at some point. Maybe Baker Mayfield will be up here, right? So there are definitely players in the quarterback position that'll be worth this amount of money. Lamar Jackson's probably going to get paid.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if he's –
because I believe he's still on a rookie deal, and he's probably – I would argue he's probably going to get paid more than Josh Allen just because they know how unique he is on there. But in terms of the money that he now getting paid going into this next year, I mean, it's quite a thing to have over your head going into
$43 million a year.
Right.
I think, which puts him, in the Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott category.
It's going to be quite the thing to have over his head going into this next year, considering he's at the very least a top 5 candidate for MVP going into this next season.
Yeah.
My pick for MVP, he's my safe pick for MVP is more like it. My dark horse is still going to be Justin Herbert, but that being, it's going to be a huge thing over his head, knowing that if you have a bad game, let's say you have a game where you throw 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, it's going to mean that much more knowing the money that you're getting paid now, right? I mean, we saw it with Nick Foles. Nick Foles got paid a ton of money. Anytime he'd have a bad game, who's this guy? Carson Wentz on the verge of winning MVP got paid a ton of money. We don't think of him the same anymore, do we? Right? So,
there is another guy that I am about to bring up that is just hilarious. That goes in that category. But yes, go.
So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying Josh Allen's incapable of keeping up this momentum, because I firmly believe he is very capable, and Buffalo is going to come back with a vengeance going into this next year. But it's something to take note of. If God forbid, if he has one of those seasons that he sits out for an injury or some sorts, that sticks out like a sore thumb. But this is really just saying kind of the generalities with any big contract, right? Just like Jamal Adams' contract, which we'll get into here in a second. Big money, big plays, big expectations is really what it comes down to, right? So and Josh Allen is second
second in this year, second highest paid player, right behind Patrick Mahomes at 45 million. He comes at about 43 a year. And just before, I would like you to guess. So it goes Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. I would like you to guess who is tied with Aaron Rodgers for sixth highest paid.
Off the top of my head, I don't know if I would say Kirk Cousins, but I don't know if
he's the next one. It's Jared Goff. Jared Goff's making
that was after the Super Bowl year, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. So we've seen those contracts turn bad. I don't believe Josh Allen will fall in that same category, but obviously it's possible whenever you're giving that much money to a single player. But to me, that contract. It doesn't. There's not a lot to it. I think it doesn't mean a lot to me. You play like that, you get paid. Buffalo Bills were always going to pay him, so there's not really much reading into it. Like, I wasn't like, oh, wow, it happened. Like, I'm not like, oh, this really means that, he's sticking around in Buffalo for the future. Like, we knew that was going to happen. So, it's obviously huge. And I think it just shows his, ascension into superstardom. But, in terms of some other contracts that I think mean a little bit more, I'm going to go with Nick Chubb first. 3 years, $36 million, which after we're talking about Josh Allen's contract doesn't seem like much, but I mean, just the fact that a running back is getting a second contract on a team means a lot about the player in that team. Running backs are in a position where a lot of people believe that you should just play them out on their rookie contract and toss them aside, go for the next guy. Le'Veon Bell, the Steelers didn't want to pay him. And we've seen that happen a few times. But the fact that the Browns went all in on re-signing Nick Chubb, paying him, it's top tier running back money. I don't know exactly where it falls, and it's not in the Zeke Elliott, Christian McCaffrey range or whatever. But he's making a lot of money for a running back, and I think this means two things. It means that the Browns are committed to running the football and doing what they did to success last year, and also that they're committed to running the football with Nick Chubb. Obviously, they have Kareem Hunt there, and he's still going to be involved, but you don't pay Nick Chubb $12 million a year if you're going to use, give him split reps with Kareem Hunt. I think they're preparing for Kareem Hunt to leave for a payday at some point, and they're going to go full in on Nick Chubb.
Yeah, it is weird to see that amount of money considering their running back situation, because I'll just tell you, on a fantasy standpoint, I hate starting either or of them because I don't know who's going to, I drafted Nick Chubb last year and was very disappointed with the amount of games he missed. But they probably run the most notable two running back system in the league, and it's troublesome to see that amount of money get thrown out there, considering that he's getting paid more money than running backs like Saquon Barkley, Melvin Gordon.
Saquon's on his rookie contract.
He's still on his rookie, okay. And Josh Jacobs is still on his rookie.
Josh Jacobs still on his rookie.
So he's in terms of people who have gotten extensions, he's relatively on the lower end. I think Austin Eckler may or may not still be on his rookie deal.
I don't believe he might have gotten a smaller one just because I think he was undrafted, so he didn't have a huge contract. But I will give you a fantasy tip: follow the money. And the fact that they're paying Nick Chubb that much money, I think, means that they're going to commit a lot to him. Kareem Hunt's still going to be very viable, and he's still going to be used very well. But this is them committing to Nick Chubb this is a guy who I believe we both had as number 5 on our top 5 running backs, and so I think it's the same thing. Cleveland sees that, and they're committed to that.
If you want me to follow the money, I do not want to draft number 1 paid running back Ezekiel Elliott. But
that was a long time ago.
Kamara, McCaffrey, and Cook and Derrick Henry follow Ezekiel Elliott right after.
The Cowboys probably wouldn't pay Zeke that money now. They did at the time.
I'd be surprised if he stays with the team, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But But yeah, you mentioned Jamal Adams a bit earlier. That's certainly a guy who just recently secured the bag after it wasn't a full holdout because he was still kind of there. He wasn't just sitting at home.
Wasn't a Cam Chancellor type holdout.
No, was not that. So probably wouldn't have
Pretty
held
soft.
out. Yeah, probably wouldn't have held out into the season. I think just didn't want to risk, a practice or a preseason injury before getting that money. But the money was going to come from the Seahawks. They, traded for him knowing that he would need to be re-signed. That was never out of the question. I believe they had even given him an offer that would have made him the highest paid safety that he didn't sign, and then I think they must have upped the money and finally got him to sign. So the Seahawks were willing to re-sign him, obviously, as evidenced by when they got it done and the fact that they did not wait to the last minute. They weren't panicking. They were in communication. They were working on it. And this is a guy who, hopefully will be, healthy this year, 100% healthy, and can revert back to, when he was an absolute world beater on the Jets.
It looks like per year he's probably making the most, but in terms of total contract, it's
Landon Collins,
yeah.
But that was like a 7-year deal. Yeah, he just passed Justin Simmons, who was the highest paid. So yeah, average annual value, he is number one now.
Yeah, and Kevin Byard's making a ton of money too, which is pretty crazy. And then Budda Baker up there, right? So I mean, Harrison Smith, I'd love to see higher on that list in terms of getting paid. But regardless, Jamal Adams is definitely worth the money. It's just in terms of the health to really make that money worth it. The Seahawks defense is very, how do I want to phrase it? It's very improvisational, I guess is the best way to say it. They're not going to necessarily lock you down every single week or really game plan to lock down even the worst of teams. It's just, they're going to come up in the big moments when it matters. I think
bend don't break. Seems to be their methodology.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Patriots game week 2 really stands out to me in terms of just big moments they can come up. And
wasn't Jamal Adams in on that?
I think it was either Jamal Adams or one of the outside linebackers.
Or maybe they went away from him, but he was. That's when he was playing. He was making plays at the time.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to make plays. He is, he's all pro in 3 of his 4 seasons or something like that. First team all pro, something like that. I was happy to see that he is re-signing with the team. However, you just got to back up the money that's there. In terms of other players on here, Fred Warner getting a ton of money. He's definitely one of the best linebackers in the league.
Fred Warner and Darius Leonard both getting huge linebacker contracts.
Yep. No disagreements there. They are obviously the focal points of their defenses. Maybe not so much Fred Warner. We'll see how Nick Bosa's contract kind of ends up down the line.
Being the guy in the middle, certainly comes with a lot of pressure and a lot of, ability and things you have to do. But the thing about them is, they weren't first round guys like, Jamal Adams and Josh Allen and these guys. So they were on shorter rookie deals, so they had to get locked up a lot sooner. And so they get, into that big money before a lot of other guys drafted, in the same draft as them.
And Darius Leonard is not only the focal point of that Colts defense, but that Colts defense is relatively underrated, and that might be really the thing that's going to keep them kind of in the running for possibly a wild card spot, because I still think it's kind of the Titans' division to run with. But Darius Leonard's going to be there for the long term. Maybe they'll get another big free agent guy this next year or have a good draft next year, or I'm trying to remember who they got in the first round. I think it was an edge guy, right?
Kwity Paye.
Yeah. So that Colts defense is pretty underrated. They're having quarterback issues. Consider them possibly, the Washington football team of the AFC South, maybe. I don't know. You're a big Washington football team guy, so
I am. But and the thing about
Buckner, right? So I mean,
and the thing about Darius Leonard, I have not watched every Colts versus Titans game, but if Darius Leonard has shown the ability to tackle Derrick Henry, who they have to play twice a year, he's worth the money just because of that, because, you've got to go up against that guy twice a year. And, Darius Leonard's just his versatility. He's a dude who can rush the passer, he can drop back into coverage, he can do everything that you would ask of him to do. So he's an incredible player. Same with Fred Warner, that I think a lot of casual NFL fans don't really know. They play linebacker, they weren't highly rated guys. Darius Leonard went to, some small school, can't even remember, and Fred Warner was like BYU before they were, as good as they were last year. So these are guys who are maybe underrated by the general public.
I'm going to look up and see where Darius Leonard
like South Alabama or North Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina State.
Like it was South Carolina State.
Yeah, exactly. Some small school.
They are division. They play in the MEAC, wherever that is. So.
MEAC.
Oh, they are barely Division I.
It's one of the schools that they get a team in the NCAA tournament for automatically winning the conference. So they're D1,
like Texas Southern and stuff like that.
They're D1, but they're not like top tier D1. Are there any? I know there's only a few other guys on that list. Are there any other that you want to call out?
Other than I see on here, Sam Hubbard getting paid since he's really trying to hang on to the. Other than what's their safety's name? I can't.
Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates, who's probably going to be up there in the top 5 for safeties once he gets.
Yeah, he's up and coming guy.
The Sam Hubbard contract stands out a little bit. They obviously paid him, and they're trying to make up for Carlos Dunlap and whatnot, and Geno Atkins lost out on.
And they lost Carl Lawson, who went to the Jets, and recently I think ruptured his Achilles, will be out for the year. But the thing about that Sam Hubbard signing that, reading between the lines on that, he hasn't really translated to incredible NFL production yet. But if you're willing to pay a guy that much money, which isn't a lot for an edge rusher, but still a lot of money, it clearly means that they see something in him and, plan to unlock that this year. So I think this could be a big year for Sam Hubbard. He's got a shot at, he's a starter. He'll be rushing the passer. So this could be a big year for him, and the money certainly backs up the Bengals, at least assumption of that.
Yeah. Other than that, it was a fun way to end out the offseason in terms of contract extensions. I knew that Dak and Tyler Lockett were going to get paid at some point, but
those are big ones that got done early.
Yeah, but we'll see if they can back it up.
Mm-hmm.
All my eyes are going to be on Josh Allen, of course. So that's
one more I want to throw out there that I didn't put on our list that we're both looking at. I've got Taylor Moton and Ryan Ramczyk on there, who are some offensive tackles that, got paid. The Saints staying in win now mode, locking up their guy, and the Panthers, wanting to hopefully protect the quarterback of the future, Sam Darnold. But one that I didn't put on there, Logan Thomas, tight end for the Washington football team, my Washington football team. He's a former quarterback, played at Virginia Tech, transitioned into tight end in the NFL, and was kind of bouncing around and found a spot as a starter for Washington. Got targeted a bunch last year. He's a guy who I think could have a really good year for tight ends. We've talked about how the tight end position beyond kind of the top 3 or 4 is really weak. He's a guy who can vault up into that, not the upper echelon, but of the guys where it's like, all right, they're solid. Nobody's going to take their spot. Got Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing to him now, so just more and more potential for my darling Washington football team, which are going to win the NFC East. I will say it again.
Heard it here first.
Probably, and maybe only here, but we'll see about that. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you for tuning in this week. We will be back with you again soon as the NFL season is rapidly approaching, getting into the actual season, talking about big names, making big plays actually on the field. and not talking about what they're doing in a boardroom with their agent and the general manager. But that is going to do it for us. Remember to check out Dash Sports on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, as well as give us a like and subscribe, as the kids call it, on YouTube, and check out our other shows as we relaunch for the college football season, as well as some other endeavors that we will be on. So make sure to stay up to date with the Dash Sports brand. Thank you for watching.